Good morning. You look like you've had a good sleep. Must have been all that country air in your lungs, huh? That's how my mom used to get me to sleep. She used to let me run around out in the garden until I got tired. It worked like a charm. Why, yes, I am wearing a witch's costume. How did you guess? Oh, right. The hat. That's kind of a giveaway, huh? I was tempted to buy some of that temporary hair dye spray. Or whatever you call it. You know, the stuff that you get at Party City. It comes in a can and you just spray it on your head and it comes right out after you wash it. I don't know the name of it, but I was thinking about getting it. But then I was kind of worried that it might not wash out as easily as they said it did on the package. So I decided to get a wig instead. And I found this cute little baby on Amazon for a good price. I was also trying to decide between the bright blue one and the bright purple one. I didn't want a red one because I wore red last year, and I can only imagine how I would look with green hair. Ugh. Yeah, I think the purple suits me too. You know what? I might actually try to dye my hair purple next year. Like, actually dye it. Not with that spray and stuff, but get actual dye. Though I might not go as bright as this wig here. Maybe I'll go for... What's that color? What's that color between purple and... Yeah, like an indigo. Now then, how can I help you on this fine All Hallows Eve morning? You wish to get a grand tour of the inn. Now, isn't that a coincidence? I was just about to begin this morning's tour. Perhaps you'd like to come along? Alright, get in line then. We're about to start. Okay, welcome everyone to our All Hallows Eve tour. Now, we usually have 2 tours. One in the morning for the day guests, and one at night for the night guests. I see you've all decided to join me for the morning tour. I don't blame you. The evening tour is not for the faint of heart, for there are things that go bump in the night. Unexplained coincidences. A series of peculiar events. You know, some have gone on the night tour and haven't come back. Yet. Where did they go? No one knows. Some say they might have got sucked into a mirror, or sucked into a closet, or they've went up into the attic. No one knows what's up in that attic. No one's been up there in over 200 years. Okie dokie, let's begin. Now, if you'll all follow me down the hall in an orderly fashion, single file, with a smile, as my teacher always used to say. Right then. When I was a little girl, my grandmother used to tell me stories about this place. Every time we would come here, right around this time actually. She used to say that this place was haunted by ghosts and spirits. spirits that have unfinished business here on this earth. And you can only imagine how exciting that was for me. I had a wild imagination, and those stories certainly didn't help any, which is why they always tried to discourage them. I used to run around these halls and look in all the rooms and see if I could find anyone. A ghost, or a spirit, or someone of that sort. Of course, when I wandered off, it scared the heck out of my parents. Oh, if they only knew how haunted this place actually is. What? You didn't think I'd miss out on the retelling of my thrilling life story now, did you? Not a chance. See? That's my portrait there on the wall. I know. It doesn't even look like me. I didn't have long, yellow hair like that. I used to have long, dark hair. Chestnut brown, I believe they call it. And bright brown eyes. Like chocolate. Not blue eyes. It was Victor who had the blue eyes. Like the ocean. Or the sky after a storm. And there was intelligence behind them. Which makes sense, considering he was a professor too. It's as if they didn't know me at all. I guess you're right. I can't blame them for not knowing what I looked like. I never had the patience to remain in one place for too long. And that's including a wooden chair. I used to like to watch my mother sitting in a chair while someone painted her. It must have taken a lot of patience. And a lot of time. But she always looked beautiful. No painter could really capture how beautiful she was. Did my father have any portraits? I think he only got it done once. He said it was boring. Which I guess is where I got my distaste for sitting down in one place for too long from. You know? By the way, I have to admit, your tour idea? Genius. Much better than the plan I thought out. Did you come up with that on the spot? What do you mean it's nothing? You should give yourself more credit. I'm serious. Never underestimate the power of a brilliant mind. Anyway, I was thinking we could follow the rest of the guests along for most of the tour. And then, once we get to the room with the safe and the rings in it, we'll see if we can remain in that room for a little bit longer. Yes, I'm sure it'll work. Do you know me? I always figure things out. Well, almost always. I haven't found a way to open the safe by myself, or how to hold any inanimate object on my own. See, most ghosts and spirits can, but for some reason, I can't. Apparently, it all has to do with experience. That I'll learn how to do it in time, but I wish I'd learned to do it now. Imagine the chaos I could cause. Oh, your face. I can tell you're somewhat of a more reasonable person. Not really getting into trouble that often. Unless it's to protect the people you care about. Like your friends or your family. I admire that about you. Well, the bright side, I have the code to the safe memorized. All up here in my noggin. Yeah, the sweet, adorable receptionist kept the book open all night last night. And me, being the curious sort, decided to sneak down and read it. It was an amateur mistake on her part. It's the equivalent of leaving your diary open on your bed for your parents to read, exposing your deepest and most private thoughts. Yeah, not something you want to think about, huh? You know, my Nana always used to say, if you don't want people to read it, then you probably shouldn't write it. Even in a diary. Because who knows, someone might have read it and might use that as blackmail. You don't want that. So unless you have your diary coded or whatever, if you have some sort of lock combination that nobody can crack, then yeah. I know, it kind of defeats the purpose of a diary, doesn't it? But yeah, I read the code for hours and hours until I could recite it without looking at it. Lucky for you, right? Or else we'd have to be in that room for eons, trying every possible combination until your fingers got tired and your mind got frustrated to the point where you were going to explode. Yeah, it would have taken us years and years and years and years and years. I mean, there are a billion different combinations. So many numbers. Actually, the lock only has numbers 0 through 9. But still, if you put all of those together, how much time would it take to go through every single code? Yeah, it would take a long, long time. Hey, wait for me! This is the room where they were kept. We were going to be married here, me and Victor. It was going to be an outdoor wedding. With flowers and it was going to be sunny. I didn't know for sure if it was, but I had a feeling it was going to be sunny. In the wind, it would smell of roses and lilies and daisies. Then when Victor died, the sun never shone. It was like even Mother Nature knew I was grieving. When he died, I didn't see the hope of it ever getting better. The ache he left behind was unbearable. I didn't see the point of living. I didn't eat. I barely slept. And sometimes I'd have these moments where I would just curl up in a ball and cry and cry. I became really, really sick, and I died 2 days later. I guess they were right about one thing. I did die of a broken heart. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Anything they wish to know? Ooh, so many hands, so many hands. How about you? Yes, you, the charming young man over in the corner there. Do you have any questions? Any thoughts? Any theories? How come Agnes and Victor aren't together in the afterlife? That is a good question. But it's one that can easily be answered. The legend says that because they weren't yet married, and because they died in separate places, there's no way for them to be together. Unless someone finds their wedding rings, gives them to the spirits, and then a minister pronounces them as husband and wife. They say Victor died in that tavern, just across the way. But, much like vampires, there's a certain barrier that prevents them from seeing each other. If Agnes's ghost, was to step out of the inn and go past that little entryway there, or go down the road, she'd turn to ash within seconds. And same with Victor. He can't leave the premises of the tavern, or else he'll die too. Well, he'll turn to ash anyway, because he's technically already dead. The rings are in the safe here. Hold on, let me see if I can. Phew, they're gone. Hurry, this might be our only chance to retrieve the rings without anyone noticing. Don't worry, you can return them to the safe once we're... Oh. Well, there's just one problem. Something I overlooked in all of my excitement. Where are we going to find a minister on such short notice? I mean, I doubt you have any ministers on speed dial on that phone of yours. And I don't think any of the guests are ministers. What do you mean, how do I know? I mean, I can kind of tell who's a minister and who isn't. I don't know, they just have that look. You know, if you've been around long enough, you start to figure people out, and none of them look like ministers to me. All this time I spent hoping that Victor and I would be together again. And I forgot the most important step, the most important detail that even the smartest person wouldn't overlook. And the most hopeless of romantics wouldn't overlook it either. So much for... What do you mean you can do it on the computer? You can't just press a button and suddenly become a minister. Can you? Like you just press a random button and they just give you a costume? Oh. You mean one of those lesson things, don't you? I don't know why I thought the other thing. But don't those usually take days or months or years at most to finish? I don't think we have enough time. It only takes 5 minutes? Okay, that doesn't sound too bad in terms of wait time. But let's get the rings first, and then we can figure the other part out later. Here's the code. Are you ready? 09 12 83 74 65. Wow, it actually worked. I can't believe it actually worked. For some reason, I didn't think it would. Are you sure you haven't done this sort of thing before? That you're not one of those government agents you see in movies? Hey! I may be old, but I've been around long enough to know what a movie is. Oh, and I don't know what an online ordained minister is? Come on. Those things just started coming around. Anyway, let me just put this ring on my finger. Oh, it's a perfect fit. Even with my ghosty hands. It's a miracle I can even wear it at all, if I really think about it. Yeah, I was kind of worried it would just float right through my skin. That would have been something, huh? Okay. It all comes down to this. Whether or not I can go outside. If this is the last time we see each other, I truly appreciate your help, and I truly appreciate you putting up with me and my scatterbrain. Okay, here it goes. What? It worked. I can feel it. I can feel the air. It's crisp and cool, and it smells like apples and damp leaves and everything that's beautiful about fall. And speaking of leaves, look at all the colors. It's like fireworks on the ground. Or fireworks on the trees. And look at the fog. It makes everything look so much more mysterious and magical. No wonder people love being out. No wonder they love being out in the fall. Everything's so beautiful and thrilling and... Thank you. Thank you so much for all of this. I couldn't have done it without... Victor? Victor. Darling, is that you? I'm here. All these years, all this time spent apart, and you're still as beautiful as the day I lost you, my love. When you died, I didn't see the point of living. But now, being here with you, it makes all those 250 years of loneliness and heartache, it makes it all worth it. It's hard to explain, but I couldn't have done it without some help from a very good friend. He has agreed to be our minister and help us move on to the afterlife together. Oh, quick, give Victor his ring. See? It's a perfect fit, just like mine. Okay, now, what are we supposed to do? Oh, right, hold hands. Victor, my love, I take you to be my lawfully wedded husband, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, until death do us part. Well, death has already done that. So, I guess we could have skipped over that line. Thank you for all your help. If it weren't for you, I would still be trapped in that inn, with no way of finding my love again. I will never forget you. Only, I still don't know who you are. I mean, Victor and I, we never had children. But I did. Victor had a brother, a twin brother, who looked exactly like you. You're our descendant. Well, technically they're a descendant, but you're our family. I can't believe it. All of us, finally together. The Heart legacy will continue with you. Thank you. We are forever in your debt. Goodbye.